The big advantage of online professional development is that you can take it with you to your home, to your favorite place to relax, to the time of day that works best for your schedule. And the big advantage of being an online course developer is that you can take your work with you too. Hi, I'm Chris Chrisman, and I've worked with USDLC and development teams in North Carolina and Illinois to develop Literacy to Learn. And this is one of my major collaborators, Geek. Let me tell you a little about Literacy to Learn, or as we affectionately refer to it, L2L, Professional Development for 21st Century Educators. The best way to predict the future is to invent it. That's a quote by Alan Kay, who played a big role in developing the technology needed to bring us all together like this. His is not exactly a household name. It's the rare person, usually a geek, who knows what Alan Kay invented. Remember the famous visit that Stephen Jobs made to Xerox in 1979? Well, it was Alan Kay's work in portable computing and graphical interface that impressed Stephen Jobs and served as the direct inspiration for the Apple Macintosh computer and years later, Microsoft Windows. So Alan Kay inspired Stephen Jobs and Bill Gates. Who inspired Alan Kay? Kay's whole concept of the computer in society was inspired by a visit to Seymour Papert's MIT lab in 1968. He saw kids working with Logo and decided that computers should be book size and the interface heavy on the graphics so kids could use them naturally. In this case, it was Seymour Papert, a teacher, who invented the future. It will be teachers who continually reinvent themselves as learners who invent the 21st century. And the best way to continually change, grow, and reinvent yourself is through 21st century professional development. I'd like for you to meet one teacher who exemplifies 21st century professional development. Meet Kevin Bernard, a career and technical education teacher at Paisley Middle School in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Let's watch him in action to see what 21st century skills he's teaching.
I have a lot of kids that do better in my class than others because they get to use their hands every day. A lot of the things that you're forbidden to do in other classes, you have to do in here. You have to talk with your partner, you have to get out of your seat, and you have to do something with your hands. This is one of the few places where you take an idea and you make it into something that's concrete. You have other classes where you might write about an idea, make a poem about an idea. You can even draw an idea. But it's pretty unique in a school to take an idea and turn it into something that does something for you.
How can L2L inspire significant teaching? First, by sharing video documentaries that focus on curricular content and pedagogy, many that integrate technology transparently. Let's peek into Shirley Peon's third grade class for just a minute to see how she's teaching her young students to use student forums to develop many important 21st century literacy skills.
I like doing it because I like to see other people's ideas, and I like to give them compliments. You get to kind of know how people think. So you know that you're not the only one that thinks the way that you think.
You can do more than just comment to Miss Pion's post, but you can actually comment to other students' posts. So I think that's kind of cool.
It's fun to me because you get to respond to teacher, like what you did, and I think it's fun because you get to tell her about a book or like something that you did, and like you might want to tell the whole class. The class might not understand me well, and I can just write what I'm trying to say on the computer. And the fun thing about it, you get to make smiley faces too.
I definitely think critical thinking is happening on the online blogs, and with that whole idea of metacognition too, it's sort of a higher order thinking skill that students really have to practice when they do these online discussions. I'm very excited about using online blogs. This is the experimental year, but I can see how next year I can improve even more on it, and you can really fly with online discussions. Okay, good. And is it one that you're going to recommend to your classmates to read?
Shirley's student forums give her the opportunity to extend her learning community to the web and enhance the actual one in the classroom. That's what web researcher Shirley Turkle encourages us to use technology to do. Use the virtual to enhance the actual. L2L also inspires creative teaching and learning, the kind that can bring faculties together and launch collaborative school projects. Let me share a little of a collaborative project, a coached Paideia project, that the 7th grade classes at Asheville Middle School dedicate themselves to every year. It's called the Empty Bowls Project, and it's probably the largest service project in the world, invented years ago by a couple of Michigan art teachers.
Isn't it a wonderful activity? It's project-based, it's interdisciplinary. The students have an opportunity through the arts to study a thematic, something very world-conscious such as hunger, and then put it to some practical application such as raising resources to do something about the issue. So it's a great opportunity.
That's perfect. Thank you. You've got to love this ball.
So this project is basically for us to learn about hunger in the world. Specifically, we've worked with the Philippines, India, Sudan, North Korea, and Western North Carolina. So it's for us to learn a little bit about hunger and how people are suffering from it and how we can help these people. It's a really good experience for us. It started out with someone from Manna Food Bank came to talk to us about hunger and how they help feed people in Western North Carolina and about what we can do to help those people.
You know from the various seminars you've already done, the units on India, the units on the Philippines, I believe was one of them. You did one on Western North Carolina and the Appalachia. So you know that there's hunger around the world. It's not something that's just isolated to third world countries. We have hunger within our own nation. And so
we wanted to develop a new thematic unit that hopefully would be strong enough and powerful enough that we could continue doing it for years to come. We wanted to create a real world product that would be of value to the community while the students were learning very specific things about economics and hunger, both locally and globally. It was very important that that not be seen as something that only occurs in the far regions of the world, but that occurs here in Asheville too.
We're done. We did it. It was great. Stage band played, the chorus sang, strings played. It was a great night. We sold our bowls. We made money for our cause we wanted to make it for. We've helped out people who need our help, and we've done a great thing all together.
I think they got the idea that there is poverty. I mean, I know some of them struggle. We have kids right here in Asheville. You know, we've had a lot of kids come here from Mississippi and Louisiana. So those kids really know firsthand what it is to be without and to not have, and so I think it's been good. It's good for all of them, because the more and more they learn that when they're young, the better our world's going to be when they get older.
These students, these teachers at Asheville Middle School are inventing the future. Speaking of inventing the future, let's return to Kevin Bernard's classroom to see how those robots are coming along.
It's definitely different from other classes because the grading is what we want to do. We get to do whatever we want to do for a robot. And depending upon how well our program works, that's what we get graded on.
There's no doubt in my mind that inquiry-based science is a better way to teach and a better way to prepare kids for testing than lecture.
When it hears sound, it turns around, and hold on, can I see this real quick? And when it sees darkness, it shines lights and plays Ode to Joy.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.